Man, Auburn fans. I don't even know what to say about that. Our Auburn Tigers drop a heartbreaker in the first round of the NCAA tournament to the Yale Bulldogs, 78-76. And it's a story that I think we all feel like we've read this book before. Auburn steps up to the free throw line when it's time to be clutch, and we don't get it done. Um, still just kind of processing this one. I have to bear with me. I didn't even know I was going to be on this live, kind of getting back here, kind of scrambling. Hope everybody can see me and hear me okay. Y'all let me know in the chat. This one's tough, man. This one's tough. Our guy B will be coming in. I think Ike will be in here shortly. Y'all guys hang tight. The whole crew will be joining me soon. Just my initial thoughts is I'll start with a point guard play. Bruce tried to put Aiden back in under 7 minutes to go to try to get Trey a little bit of rest. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Aiden commits a foul. They go to the free throw line because they're in the bonus. Bruce takes him right back out, tries to let Trey finish the game. Trey gets several opportunities, obviously, to make big shots, doesn't do it. Missing both free throws there is huge. Obviously, the missed layup there at the end. Just really, really a tough one to swallow. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I tweeted out with about 10 minutes to go in the game. If this comes down to free throws, Auburn will miss the free throws and they will lose the game with the free throw line. And I hate that came true, but it happens every time, man. It happens every single time. It's been this way before Bruce Pearl, really. I mean, I've been watching Auburn basketball for a long time, and it just seems like in the clutch moments when it comes down to that free throw line, I mean, look, we should have beat Virginia. There's the double dribble and all that, but Jared Harper had a free throw that he could have made that would have made the complexion of that game a lot different. 91% free throw shooter, and he missed it. Trey, good free throw shooter, he misses it. KD, good free throw shooter, he can't knock his down. It's unbelievable, man. It's really, really unbelievable. I'm going to in here and get some of you guys' comments, so I know everybody is just kind of feeling like me. Just a second to get back up here. Guy Ethan's in here says, didn't know Steph Curry was going to dress out for Yale. Yeah, they lit us up, man, and he lit us up especially, and there just was no answer. So Nina says, what the hell? And I agree with you. Stephen A. calling it bullshit. Can't disagree with you there. Robert says CBM ejection set the tone. Yes, we all know the kid hit CBM earlier. So what? You suck it up and move. Undisciplined and embarrassing. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's start there. Right out the gate, you kind of saw which way the officiating was going to be going. And I'm not going to sit here. Look, I think the officiating favored Yale, but obviously after what transpired in the last 5 minutes, you can't really blame the officials. And I agree with you on this one, Robert. I know this might not be a popular sentiment right now amidst all the emotion that is, the Auburn fans are going through. But I'm with you on this. Yes, the kid hit CBM and all that kind of stuff, but you just got to be disciplined, man. We need you. It's the tournament. We need you. We don't have any time for any of this stuff. And it's not a joke. It's not time to clown around. And, I think it should have been a flagrant one. I think it was a flagrant 2 was excessive. But let's say that they kept it at a flagrant 1. He still shouldn't have done it, right? It was still just not the right reaction. And then so I kind of fall in the line of thinking that if he wouldn't have done this, we wouldn't have been in this position. So should have just sucked it up and kept moving. And just they kept on the whistle. The refs kept on the whistle, and it just never really allowed Auburn to get into our pace. And then when we did try to speed it up and get into fast breaks, it seemed like we weren't able to execute. We would get like a 3-on-2 fast break or something. We'd end up having to pull it out, and then we'd end up having to try to get set back up on our half court. And a lot of the stuff that we saw last weekend, we saw Auburn and Bruce Pearl doing in the half court, just dialing everybody up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the SEC tournament in Nashville. Didn't happen. It was a struggle. It was a struggle in the half court. But, that is a testament to some of the things that Yale did on defense. Anthony says ref sold. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Definitely, I know you meant to say refs there. Definitely frustrating. I don't, like I said, the officiating definitely leaned Yale's way. Steven says, I don't know what's worse, losing to Yale in basketball or losing to New Mexico State in football. This one's worse. This one's by far the worst, obviously, because it's the tournament. And I know that New Mexico State was bad, but the football program is not where the basketball program is supposed to be. This is a stain. This is a stain on the basketball program. Unfortunately, I love Bruce Pearl, and I've defend him to the death. But this is a stain on Bruce Pearl's legacy. Like, this shouldn't have happened right here. This should not have happened. And this was a team that was built to make a deep run. You had everything set up for you to make a deep run, and you just can't execute. And it gets to the point to where you have to start asking the question, why aren't Bruce Pearl's teams executing in clutch moments consistently? It was great to blow everybody out by double digits this year. And let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think that played a part in this? Do you think that Auburn has not been in these kind of tight games this year? We have a couple times, but we didn't pull them out, right? Like on the road at Mississippi State or on the road in Tuscaloosa. So, I wonder if that played a part in it. Like, this team just wasn't there. They haven't been there all year, and the couple times they have, they didn't pull it out. So you don't have anything to look at. There's nothing in the memory bank to go back to and say, okay, remember that one time, that one night when we were facing this, and then we pulled it out. We didn't have it. All the wins have been blowouts, and it came time to step up to the free throw line and be clutch and make a shot or make wide open layups. And everyone's going to focus on that, that sequence there at the end. But I'll go back to some of the stuff Aiden was doing earlier. I mean, he had a wide open layup at one point in the game, about halfway through, and he just, for no reason, going up, switches to his left hand and then tries to go the other side of the basket and misses it completely, when all he had to do was just go the way he was going and lay it up with his right hand. I just didn't understand the decision making there. But this is a total team collapse. I mean, Janai missed big free throws. Trey missed big free throws. Denver missing a big free throw. Everybody kind of having a shot there at the end to put it in and not. It's disappointing. And I will say this, and I know y'all don't want to hear it right now. Played hard. Like, you can't crap on the effort. You can't sit here and say the boys didn't try hard, boys didn't come out to play. They did their thing as far as effort goes, and they played hard for the majority of the year. There's never been a game where I felt like they mailed it in, but that doesn't win you ball games. It doesn't win you ball games. And it's been a little bit since Auburn kind of made it past that second or past the first weekend. I was really thinking this was the team. Yeah, I'm not too impressed with San Diego State, even if it was going to be UAB coming out of that one. I thought for sure this was the team that was at least going to get to the Sweet 16. And man, this was going to be hard to digest. My heart's still pounding. My heart is still pounding. Greg says sick of moral victories. Yeah, there's no moral victory in this one, Greg. Like, this is a choke job, brother. Auburn should have won this game. This team was set up to make a deep run in March. They talked about it. Bruce Pearl talked about the expectations to win the national championship, right? We all seen the speeches before the SEC tournament. He said, we're not losing again this year. And then to come out and lose in the first round to Yale in the way that we just did, yeah, there's no more victories here, Greg. Choke job, bad L. Yeah, I mean, this is tough. This is tough. I know a lot of people in the comments are kind of going at CBM, and I understand. I do think that it was just an immature and silly decision by him. And, like you said, his dad flies all the way up there, and then you play a grand total of 4 minutes or 3.5 and get kicked out. The team loses. It's a tough deal, man. Just kind of confused as to why that was the decision that he made. Chris says, we should have been a 3 seed and not facing Yale. Well, you can't really make that argument when you didn't win the first game. I mean, could have been seeded like wherever, right? I mean, you got to play. You got to play it at some point, and you really don't have an argument as far, in my opinion, that you deserve better when you can't even hit free throws. Like a 3 seed, all you got to do is step up and hit free throws. 4 seed doesn't matter, and I can point out time and time again in Auburn history, or making the clutch basket in the clutch moment, it hasn't happened, especially at the free throw line. So I don't think the season's going to help us there at all. Ref's job, just let's be real. The refs put us on the free throw line is what I would say. And if you make your free throws, then you're not in this position. Or you at least give yourself a better opportunity than that. And I think the officiating, like I said at the open, I do think that the officiating was scaled, like it went the way of Yale. They leaned their way early. But ultimately, man, this is on Auburn. This loss is on Auburn. You go back to the decision of CBM, and then you were up by 10 in the second half. Like, every time it felt like you were going to pull away, you allowed them back in the game. There was several times when Auburn could have put their foot on the throat, and just never got it done. And there's no excuse for that. And this team is better than that. I'm surprised at the kind of the defensive performance today, but again, that is a lot of Yale slowing the pace down and just kind of forcing Auburn into the position to where you're playing at Yale's pace, you're playing Yale's game. You never really got to run out and get into transition. Um, I would have liked to have seen Jalen kind of establish himself more, especially there with about 5 or 6 minutes to go. You kind of saw, and they went on that run when we took Janai out. They went on that run. It was what it was. We started getting cooked after that. J Dog says that Chad hurt his team. I agree with you. I mean, it's obvious, right? It's obvious. You kind of look at that result and say, if you would have had one of your better wing defenders, you'd have had your starting three. Things would probably could have went different there. Um, Pro from Yale went scored his third. He did. He did. But they were getting the looks, man. And even when we were guarding them, it felt like the Tennessee game a little bit, where even when we were in their face, they were just hitting it. And that was the thing, too. You know, you have these games, right, where it feels like the bounces aren't going your ways, the calls just are not going your way, and it gets really frustrating to deal with. But I just that's why I really started to get scared about 10 minutes left in the game. I was like, man, this does not where this is not where we where we want to be. This doesn't feel like it's going to go the right way. Like it's starting to feel like one of them games that doubt starts creeping in. You start going, whoa. And then we go up by 10 and you're like, okay, here we go. We're going to put it back on. And then they come right back. And you just realize, like, man, they're hitting shots even when they're in their face. The loose balls are going their way. The calls, especially in the first half, like the calls, I agree with y'all on that they definitely went their way. Just nothing kind of happened for Auburn. And then in the end, when it kind of did, when Auburn did have their chances to at least get out of here, because it's survive in advance. You would have got out of this one. Hey, on the Sunday, and we can keep it going. It's not but you didn't make the plays. You didn't make the plays. And that's kind of the point that I'm at with it, as to where when I watched Denver miss free throws and Trey miss free throws and KD miss cuts free throws, and then I watched that last sequence where nobody can put it in the basket, I'm asking myself, why in the world does this continue to happen? Why are we not able to step up and make a big basket when we have to? I mean, you're just not going to win every game by double digits. You're not going to win every game by 15, 20 points. It doesn't work that way, especially in March. And I don't think that Auburn came into this game overlooking Yale. I don't think Bruce Pearl allowed that, and I think you saw that as far as like the effort on the floor. I just think we didn't execute. That's really what I think. I don't really have anything other to say to that. Like we didn't play that well. Um Trey had to play the almost the entirety of the second half because Aiden became unplayable. Now, and how much did Trey not being able to finish down the stretch was due to tired legs? And he still should have made the free throws. He still should have made that layup. I'm not trying to make that much of an excuse for him, but I'm just saying it would have been a help to Trey if Aiden could have got some minutes in the second half, but he literally became unplayable. That's tough. That's tough. And right now for the Auburn family, this is going to be a really tough deal. This is going to be a tough one to swallow. I can't believe it, man. I cannot believe this. You know, I thought this team was really going to make a run, and when it comes to like national championship and all that, and picking your bracket, like I picked Auburn to win the bracket because what do you like? It's madness, right? Your bracket's gonna get busted up anyway. So I always go with the standpoint of I'm gonna roll with my squad. That's just kind of how I feel. But knowing obviously that winning the national championship is a huge hurdle. It's very, very hard to do. But I thought this team could make a run at it. You know, I wasn't out here saying Auburn's going to bring it home and all that kind of stuff, but I thought we could make a run. I definitely thought we were getting out of the first round. Tough, man. Tough. And I think this puts Bruce in a position to where coming into next season, no matter how good the regular season looks, people are just gonna say, okay, I'll see you in March. That's certainly how I'll feel. And I'll still celebrate the wins, say we beat whoever next year, beat Georgia, Bama, cool. I'll say, yeah, this is all fun. But the attitude definitely is now going to be holler at me in March, man, because I've seen y'all rolling red hot. I've seen that every which way. 2 seed in Birmingham, 2 seed. You drop them last year, you get in Birmingham, you can't get out the way. You can't get out your own way. And this year, this is the definition of can't get out your own way. And it sucks because it's like, you just wonder what, like, it's Java. It's textbook Java. And you wonder if it's ever going to die. Chris B says this one should have been a slam dunk. And I feel that way. I feel that same way. I agree with you 100%, brother. Jamal Cunningham says, I've said this all year, and thank you for the $9.99 super chat, brother. I do appreciate you. He says, I've said this all year. Auburn has scores, but they don't have a guy who is wired and talented to say, move out the way and get a bucket. Jamal, I thought CBM was that guy. Man, with a minute and a half to go, I thought CBM was that dog. He would have been that guy, and he puts his team in this position to where he's not even available, It's tough, man. It's tough. I saw a $5 super chat up here, and now it is not letting me pull it up. So to whoever did leave that $5 super chat, thank you. I do appreciate you. For some reason, it's not showing up on my screen right now. That's very weird. Normally, it keeps the super chats up there for me. I believe it was SMT that dropped it in there, so I do appreciate you. I see this one. I'm gonna keep looking for it, brother. He says, "Never smoked a cig before, but damn it, I need one right now." I hear you. When I get off here, I'm smoking something stronger than that. Because this is tough. And Auburn's got Arkansas in baseball right now, so that's the torture and the pain I'm going to put myself through. As soon as we get off of here, I'm going to go put on my Auburn baseball shirt, take this basketball one off, and keep barning. But man, it's hard right now. I feel sick to my stomach, and I know that this is one of them losses that you wake up tomorrow morning and it feels worse than it does right now. That's the kind of loss that this is. These are the kind, man, that it's hard to even come up with the words. Because you're angry, you're frustrated, you're hurt. Man. Let's see. Just a second, guys. My computer's freezing up on me. All right. Jalen Williams didn't deserve what CBM did today. Hard to see a great Auburn man go out like that. Yeah, look, I definitely understand the frustration that a lot of y'all have aimed at CBM. I get it. I concur with you. I think it was a bad decision. It kind of comes off as a selfish decision. I think the refs were overzealous. I think it was a flagrant one. I don't think that was a flagrant two. I think he should have remained in the game. But still, I think it was still the wrong decision for him to make. And if he doesn't make that decision, then you don't put your team in that position. You got to keep your head on straight, man. You got to keep your head on straight. Somebody needs to sit down and explain to Auburn, like, there's a target on your back when it comes to basketball. It just is. Like, you're probably not going to get the calls in the tournament. Like, the refs are going to lean a certain way. The whistles are not probably going to go your way. You just got to be careful. I don't know if it's them not liking BP. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not here to dissect that, but it's good. It's really confusing. Phil Petway says Yale. Yeah, Yale, man. Yale. I thought Auburn got a good draw. There was a lot of complaining about the seeding that Auburn got. People felt like Auburn earned a 3 seed. I just always felt like not that much of a difference between a 3 and a 4 seed. Yeah, boy, you proved them right now. You proved the doubters right now, right? What was the guy? Some of y'all probably know. You can help me in the comments. What was the guy that was saying that Auburn's guards couldn't handle Yale's guards? Well, our starting point guard was so bad he got benched in the second half. Try to bring him back in. He makes one mistake and you pull him back out. The other point guard misses clutch free throws and misses a clutch layup at the end of the game. So you didn't do anything today, but prove the naysayers right, and that's really, really frustrating. Yeah, Katie didn't have his best game. Obviously, just didn't make shots. Like, missing free throws, missing wide open layups, missing bunnies. We missed so many bunnies today. It's just hard to even really put it into words. Lots of unforced turnovers. Absolutely. Auburn shot themselves in the foot today. SMT says all good. Super chatted. AD Cohen should be really busy the next few years. Is equestrian still strong? Yeah. I can promise you, John Cohen is busy between football facilities, baseball facilities. They got to get the new basketball facilities right for Bruce. He is definitely a busy man. But yes, this one's tough. But my guy B Will is getting in here. B Will, what's up, buddy? I know, brother. I know. I guess I'll just ask you, yeah, how you feeling?
Dustin, I had something else planned today from 3 to 6 because I thought, all right, well, I got to get this particular thing done. And if I miss this one game, it's cool because, we're going to have 2, 3 more games in the tournament. So I got done at 6 with terrible news. And I got to come over here and talk about a game I didn't even experience. I just get all the disappointment, all of the.
Mm.
I mean, I saw people reacting on my phone. I didn't get to see anything in real time. I saw some clips on social media. So is it free throws? Is that the story, or
Yes,
was it something more than that?
Yeah, I mean, so to start the game, about 3 minutes in, Yale player kind of pushes CBM, and then
I heard, so I saw people reacting to that.
So then coming back down the court, CBM elbows him in the chest. He gets a flagrant 2. He gets tossed, and then I'll be honest with you, man, the whistles definitely favor Yale in the first half, and maybe even the first 10 minutes of the second half. But when you look at the opportunities that Auburn had in the last, one, you went up by 10. You were up by 10 late in the second half, and that lead quickly evaporated. Denver Jones steps up to the line, 1-1, misses the free throw.
Damn.
KD steps up to the line, into the game, misses the free throw.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Trey Donaldson gets fouled, steps up, misses both free throws, and then he has a wide open layup at the end of the game that he blows, and then a couple guys get it back. And I mean, yeah, B Will. I mean, it's one of the it was Iron Bowl level choke job bad, like 4th and 31 type, if not worse. It's up there on the all time Jabba list, and it might take the top.
That's incredible, considering where we thought this team could go. I mean, I looked at the field goal percentage and I was like, hey, we're playing a good game here. Whenever we're above 50%, but man, I gotta go back and rewatch it ASAP and get the film. I see people mad at KD.
Yeah, I mean, saying KD cost us. He played a part. That's what I would say. He played a part. He didn't play well at all. Particularly on the offensive end shooting. He missed clutch free throws. He did make plays in the clutch moments when he had to, but nobody did. There's nobody on this team that is immune of getting blamed right now. CBM, you put your team in a terrible position right out the gate, and it was just an uphill battle from there. But any time that a team like Auburn is up by 10 points on Yale in the second half, you got to close the door. You got to close the door. And you got sloppy on the defensive end, and then you had sloppy turnovers that really weren't even forced, and you just put yourself in a bad position. So, yeah, this is an all-time collapse, an all-time choke job.
Well, I'm here to vent with y'all, even though I don't have the same level of frustration having not seen it. But I just knew there was going to be enough reaction when I got out, saw the score, saw the reactions. Ike texted me like, "Yeah, he called me. He's like, yeah, we just lost." I said, "God dang."
Let me ask you this, B. Will, because if you go back to the Virginia double dribble game, right? Jared Harper misses the clutch free throw that makes that game look a whole lot different anyway. And I'm just kind of asking myself now, and then we can go back to look at all the wins this year. They were all double-digit wins, right? With the exception of one. You didn't have to call on a guy to make that basket. Can you think of the last time in a tight situation, in a big game, in a clutch situation, we were able to come through with a big bucket? I mean, there was a game at Georgia where Wendell got one, but I would argue that wasn't a big game. Spotlight on.
Yeah, that was one I could think of. It was like 3 years ago though. It was what's his name? When Jabari was here, KD hit a last minute shot. It was at Missouri or something like that.
Yeah, there was Missouri and Georgia that year.
Yeah, that year. Yeah. That was last year though. And it was we don't have, and we talked about this all season though. We don't have a here's the ball, go get a bucket guy. We've got offense. The offense has been working well this year, which I'm interested to go back and see what our offensive possessions looked like for us to give up a 10-point lead. Like that's going to be very. Apparently, there was this one guy that was just killing us.
Oh yeah,
Kind of like a Dalton Connect situation. Was it kind of like that?
Yeah, I'm not even. It's definitely a Greek last name, so I'm not even going to give it an attempt. But he put 28 on us. He boogied on us.
Yeah, that's that one guy to get a bucket. I see P Pass saying is that guy Denver. He's a hooper. He's a baller. Denver does not have the athleticism, I think, and the size. Like you get somebody that's 6'4", 6'5", that can sky and shoot from the outside and with the handle, like that all around type of player. We've been able to get away with not having that. And again, we talked about this prior, but that's the guy that Bruce has been missing on to the G League 2 or 3 years in a row, and we were never able to get it. So Bruce said, you know what? Let's just build it full of dudes who can do their job. And I think that worked this year. I mean, I don't know how you look at the results of the season and don't say, hey, that worked. You know, rough going early, you get yourself together, you go on a run, you win the SEC tournament. All right, that's a win. That's a positive step for the group. But being up 10 with the way this team can defend, being up 10 and ending up losing a game, that means that not only were they scoring points, that means we were having poor offensive possessions. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to be intently looking at how does this team, which looked like a well-oiled machine for the last 3 weeks, come up empty on the offensive end frequently enough to give up a 10-point lead? Because right now, even if we are missing free throws, we have been able to get buckets. You don't score 80, 85, 90, 95, 100 points in SEC games if you can't get buckets when you need them. I got to see how this unfolded, man, because that's incredibly disappointing.
We missed wide open layups, and to the point, P-Pass, is that Denver? Denver is a 90% free throw shooter that stepped up to the line when he had to get the front end of a 1-to-1 to tie a ball game, and he missed it. So, no, the answer is no. He had an opportunity to do the easiest thing, and he didn't capitalize on it. No, there's nobody on that team that is the guy. Maybe it could have been CBM, but we don't know because he wasn't out there. Everybody had an opportunity today to do it, and they didn't. So, I mean,
so the CBM play was it legit? Like, did he really do what they felt? All
right. So here's what I would say. I think it was a flagrant one because it wasn't in the face, it wasn't in the neck. He elbowed the guy kind of in the chest, beneath the chest, right there in between the chest and the stomach. It looked like to me, but it wasn't. But still, like he clearly stopped. Like he made it a point to elbow the guy. It was definitely retaliation for something. Now, there's fair points to say that the ref was staring at the initial contact the Yale player made and called nothing, and then our guy got tossed 15 seconds later retaliating. That's fair. And I'm on that side. I'm wondering why he was looking at the first one and didn't do anything, but our guy gets tossed. But he did commit a flagrant. I just think it was a flagrant one. But my argument is to do that in that moment, the start of a tournament game, like we just can't have it. Like, even if it was a flagrant one, my argument is it's a really, really stupid decision. Like in that time, you still would be giving them free throws, the ball, all kind of stuff. It's not a good thing to do then. Just keep your head on and don't do that. And I think they went a little bit overboard, but it's something that like you put them in position to make that. Like you gave them that opportunity, but just a boneheaded play. And it's one of the things, man, where like it just comes off as selfish. Like you got caught up in your own little beef real quick, and then the team suffered. And there's no get back. Like this team will never be assembled again. It's over.
It's over, man.
Like there's a lot of these guys that was their last time playing at Auburn. It's done. It's
our
done.
whole front line is gone. Cardwell's done. Broom is done because he wants to be done, and Jay Will is done. Like we're losing huge pieces. This. Oh, man, I'm hurting for those guys. Oh, man. Think about those seniors, man. I think that sucks more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but they all had opportunities, Will. Like they were all out there. And that's the thing that I love about sports is like I don't play that excuse game at the end of the day, bro. Yeah. You got to go out there, you got to make the plays. And in this particular, look, it was going a route where I would have been on here complaining about officiating and about things. How come we're always on the wrong? It was going that route, but I can't. When you miss your last, I know 5, I believe your last 6 free throw attempts in a game you lost by 2 points. I can't do that. Yeah. This is on Auburn. You could have won despite all of that. And you didn't because you can't hit freaking free throws again. B-Will, go to my Twitter, brother. I said with about 9 minutes to go in the game, if this becomes a free throw contest, Auburn will miss them in the clutch and Auburn will lose. I hate that I was right, but why? That's my question now: is why am I able to be right on that? Why is this a thing? Why can't this get fixed? Why does this continue to happen? The last tournament game we lost last year, we choked it away down the stretch.
Yeah, I remember that one. I saw that.
Miami beat us, bro. Miami just handed us our ass. But yeah, this choking, man, I don't understand it. B-Will, I don't get it. It's becoming a thing, and it's when they step up to the free throw line. And a bigger argument that we can have on another day, I would say it's starting to become a thing for Auburn sports in big games. 4th and 31 at the goal line, you give up the touch, bro. We just ain't making these plays lately, man. It feels like, and maybe that's just the barn in me and all the pain right now.
I mean, it's
been rough.
When you're a 6-win team, I mean, as far as football goes, were we a good team this year? No. So if you're not a good team, then I see why you don't have good things happening for you often enough. So, yeah, the 4th and 31 was unfortunate, but and maybe that's indicative of the type of team we were last year. But in basketball, I actually expected these guys to be able to make, especially after how we ended the season last year against Houston. That I didn't think if we're going to go down in any fashion, it's not going to be missing free throws again, right? Like if that's not going to be it, right? That's, man, that hurts. CBM not being out there, man. He's our spark plug. He's a lot for us, man.
No, it was so obvious that we missed him. It was so obvious, especially when they started hit those threes. It's like, but we sure could use our wing perimeter defender right now.
I know, right? That's the biggest difference. I know people can say, "Hey, we were up without him," but it changes your rotations. It changes who actually guards whoever the guy that got hot, whatever his name was. Who's going to guard him? You want the longest defender that you have that still can move his feet well enough, and that's CBM. So if Jay Will, I guess it would be Jay Will or Chaney that would end up out there on him if it wasn't CBM. But Jay Will doesn't have the length that CBM does. He is tall, don't get me wrong, but CBM just he's a very lanky, active defender, man. That matters. That plays a part. So I know for sure that him not being out there had to hurt us.
Yeah, and it's tough too from the standpoint of like, because I know this is what happened with Aiden B-Will, was that he just became unplayable. So he came in, he started the second half, and it just wasn't happening. So then Trey has to play like the majority of the entire second half. You get down, it was 6 and some change, right? It was, I want to say like 6:39, 6:38, and Bruce tries to sub Aiden back in. It's a timeout for Yale. They're inbounding the ball. There's 9 seconds on the shot clock. And before they even inbound the ball, Aiden fouls, and they're in the bonus, so they shoot free throws. So it's like, bro, you literally like messed everything up here. And then Aiden, you don't see Aiden again. Like Bruce takes him right back out. So Trey played the last basically 17, 18 minutes. And that's something that you kind of like, you have to point out and be fair here, is that everyone was saying guard play is gonna be what determines how far Auburn goes. And you can make the argument today that overall your backcourt came up short.
Yeah.
Like we needed Aiden didn't have to ball, man. He didn't have to light the world on fire, right? But he has to be serviceable.
Right.
He has to be serviceable. If he can't even be on the court, then yeah, there's a big problem. And it's like, I just really wonder if Trey's performance at the end of the game was due to tired legs. I mean, he'd been playing the entire second half, but it's tough, man. This is one of the most heartbreaking Auburn L's I've had to deal with.
I think it was pretty clear about halfway through the season that Aiden was going to be a developmental project that next year was going to be a better year for him. I saw them trying to get him minutes late in the season to try to get him going, and they found something that he could do to contribute, but we weren't going to see the promise of Aiden Holloway in year one. He just wasn't. He wasn't gonna. It takes some people longer, and that's fine, man. You can still be all world talent and take a bit longer, but having to count on him in this tournament, man, that's a rough spot to put him in. I know that's a rough spot for Bruce and them. They don't want him to have to be the reason we lose a game. You don't want to have to be that tight, but man, the free throws. So Denver misses free throws.
And be well good up to that point. Like, I mean, fine. I think we had missed one free throw up until the last 3 or 4 minutes, up until money time. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe we was a couple more, but we were okay. And then we literally missed our last 5, maybe 6, and then 14 turnovers to their 9. Like, I didn't think that was going to be a thing. I definitely thought coming into the game that Auburn was going to be the team kind of deciding the pace, and Yale kept it at their game all day. We were constantly playing in the half court. We were constantly playing Yale's game. And the announcers, about halfway through, they said, man, Auburn's not running their flex cut. Auburn's not running a lot of the stuff we saw them run last weekend in the SEC tournament. And it just kind of makes me wonder, well, I don't think were they anticipating CBM getting tossed 4 minutes into the game? Like, what kind of adjustments did Bruce have to make right there? Are we not running a lot of the stuff that we planned on running because we thought we were going to have our guy? And then, now we're playing without him. So it's tough. And I'll say this, I'm about to have to get out of here, B-Will, but I see people in the comments saying, talk about Tahad Pettiford's on the way. Look, I'm excited for Tahad. I think he's a baller and all that kind of stuff. But we keep hearing this. Chance Westry, he's the guy. He's going to be the guy to come do it. Oh, it's Aiden. Aiden's the guy. Aiden's going to be the guy to come do it. Now it's going to be the next point guard. Excuse me if I take a wait-and-see approach a little bit before they get on campus and actually play some SEC ball.
We should have a wait-and-see approach because you can't count chickens before they hatch, especially in basketball. With any recruits, really, in any sport, but especially in basketball, man, the game is just different for everybody when they get out there. And, yes, what Tahad Pettiford brings, based on what I've seen of his game, is he can put the ball on the floor and blow past you and embarrass you. And that is because of how refs reward almost contact or contact in college basketball. You got to have it. Do we have a dude who can just put the ball on the floor and go get us a bucket anytime? No, that's not the strength of anybody's game on our team. Denver Jones is primarily an outside shooter. He can do other things, but mostly outside. Trey is a distribute. He can get to the lane, get you a little floater, but he's not killing you with quickness, and he's not killing you with leaping ability like a Tahad could. Aiden, his game was outside shooting, right? He's not a blow by you, I'm going to finish between 3 guys, and like that's not his game. That's not his strength right now. I mean, they're going to develop him. The longer he stays, the better he's going to be because Bruce and company, they make guys better. But we haven't had a slasher, a true slasher, since Chuma and Jarrett Harper. That's the last time we had it. Where somebody who you were scared to let get into the lane. It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years now. And that's what we're missing in March. Outside shooting, yes. We had guys, our shooting percentage, when I checked my phone, it was like, all right, we're shooting 54% from the field at halftime. I'm like, all right. That's a good first half. So apparently we were hitting shots. I don't know what the 3-ball was like. I didn't remember checking that percentage, but I know you said you got to get out of here, man. You can go ahead and bounce. I'm going to keep it going for a few more minutes, be a sounding board for y'all. Unfortunately, I got to put some energy into rooting against Alabama here because I was going to do that whether we won or lost. Let's be for real. All right, I'm petty. I'm still hating. I don't care if we won by 30 or lost by 30. I was going to be rooting against Bama tonight, so. What else y'all got for me, man? We got some comments over here. I'm trying to get through some of them. Chris who said, never smoked a cig before, but damn it, I need one right now. You don't want to get started on cigs at this point. It's too late. It's too late to get new addictions that are bad for you, Chris. So, man, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Riley Mobley saying Seattle is nice this time of the year. They could do the family, too. I missed the context early. I'm going to get back to it. We're going to get back. Chad was supposed to be guarding that guy. Yeah, that's what I would expect. If it's their wing player, somebody that's somewhere between 6'4" and 6'6" out there yoking up shots, you need your premier perimeter defender. That for us, that's Chad Becker-Mazar. So there's no way that his absence did not affect the game. It's just not possible. SMT says AD Cohen could be really busy next few years. Is Equestria still strong? I don't know. Does anybody out there not think that Bruce Pearl is the best coach that we could have? Like, you can be upset at the result. If everybody is in consensus saying that this is a free throw thing, did he miss those free throws? Is that what y'all telling me? I know people are going to be upset because we lost the game and he didn't. If you didn't, was there a lineup change that could have made a difference? Because then I can see why you'd be mad at Bruce. Is there a lineup change that didn't happen that should have happened? You know what I mean? Is there a rotational adjustment? Because again, he was already up against the gun because CBM was out, right? So what would Bruce have done differently that you would say this loss is because of him? Because I haven't heard anybody give me a reason for that, saying that this clearly pointed at Bruce. I mean, hey, I don't want Bruce to go nowhere. A lot of people are going to be looking for a new coach soon, and a lot of people are going to want Bruce. I don't think Bruce wants to go nowhere. I don't want Bruce to go nowhere. I want Bruce to stay here. So, yeah. Jamal Cunningham, I've said this all year. Auburn has scorers, but they don't have a guy who is wired and talented to say move out of the way and get it. No, we don't have one of those. We got ballers. We do have ballers. We got scorers. Not having that guy, especially in, again, college basketball, it's extremely difficult in college basketball to not have that guy because they are so rewarded with the whistle, with the looks. If you call a game tight, and apparently our foul numbers were way up, way ahead of Yale's. So you already know what type of game the refs are calling, so you can't defend really tight or really aggressive. So that gives the benefit of the doubt to whoever's got the ball in their hands. And if they are aggressive, if they are a slasher, advantage them. That's why they talk about it's a guards game. Yeah, because they've got the ball in their hands. The tournament is when your guards win because college basketball refereeing benefits the players who have the ball in their hands, especially when they are fast and athletic. If you got some of those guys that are on tournament time, you can do anything you want to do. So, do we have those guys? We've got hoopers. We've got a lot of guys who played their role well this year, I thought, but we don't have those guys. Chris S. saying, can we say the choke word? They haven't won a game like this all year. I'm inclined to say 10 minutes, 7 minutes left, you're up 10, and you miss, 5 of 6 free throws down the stretch, and you lose by 2? Yeah, you can say choke. That's completely fair. That's not disrespectful. That's a choke job. Tatiana saying KD cost us. Oh, I think we got to that one. Gonna have to go back through and take a look at it. Yeah, I see Greg Wheatley asking the same question. He says, our free throw problem, is that coaching? Guys are what they are at the free throw line. You can get better marginally, but you can't. I mean, it's not gonna get dramatically better. You're not gonna turn a guy from a 65% shooter to a 90% shooter. Like that doesn't happen, man. That doesn't happen. So guys just kind of are what they are. I see JJ Brandon. What's up, man? CBM plus unforced turnovers plus missed free throws equals L. I love Bruce, but I think he needs to demand a little more discipline and focus. I mean, so this is CBM kind of has that Draymond thing in him, right? Where, yes, you can see how he's a problem. He likes to talk. He likes to get active. He likes to be an irritant and get in the other guys' heads. But that also helps our team out just as much as it damages the other team. And I think we're a better team with him by far. I think we're a better team with him on the floor for what he brings defensively and offensively. Like he's good. He's a really good player. If you handcuff him emotionally, you may affect what he can bring to the court in real time. So Bruce doesn't do that to his guys. I mean, KD has been here for, is this KD's third full season here? Third? Yeah. This is KD's third full season. He's been the same guy I mean, he's toned it down maybe a little bit, but Bruce doesn't tell these guys not to be themselves, and that's not how he operates. He wouldn't do that to them. So, in the sense that Bruce may bring on some volatile personalities, then I guess you can make that argument, right? He's bringing these guys in, but I think he knows that you also have to kind of let them be themselves, man. Like you do. That's when you're going to get the best version of them. So, yeah, I don't know. Like it's really tough to say. Well, you got to rein them in, yeah. But if you rein them in, maybe you don't even win the SEC tournament. You know what I mean? Like that. Him being who he is a key to why we got to where we got by the end of the regular season and tournament. So, I don't know. Tim the two, man. See, I'm already getting jokes from coworkers. Chiefs clapped early on a Friday night. Yeah. You know, living in Auburn, it's actually not bad because when we lose, I don't have to hear anything. Everybody said cars be driving the speed limit. I don't hear no woohoos from rival teams out the doors. You don't see the cars with them stupid little Alabama flags on them. It's quiet. Everybody's somber. Same mood all over. It's awesome not to have to get made fun of at work or on the roads when you're living in the same town. You said, oh, you're in UT country? Oh, I feel for you, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry because I know they're giving it to you. I know you're hearing it. War Eagle coverage saying you can say those free throws, but Trey and Denver are 80% shooters. You can't simulate that kind of pressure. That's fair. That's fair. The one thing that was going on with Houston last year that wasn't going on this year was it was mostly with Janai, Wendell, as far as who was doing the missing last year, right? This year, the guys who had the ball in their hands at the end of the game were not guys who had lived through that kind of pressure yet. Now, I do think this type of pressure in these situations, they make players better and they help players mature. But the guys who were under the gun, if y'all is telling me it was Denver and Trey barely got any minutes last year. He played well in the little minutes that he got, but he didn't get too many. So this year, it was the first time that it was really on him. And man, that pressure changes things. Like it really changes how players play, man. Your elbow gets a little tingly, you know what I mean? Like your right arm gets a little numb and you're just trying to go through your motion like your normal routine, but your mind's like, no, this is not your normal routine, man. It's different. And players grow from that usually. Some players never get past it, but some of them, they need this to take the next step. So we had some guys who went through that last year. Broom went through that situation last year, and apparently he played a really good game. So that situation last year, that game last year, it helped him grow up. And so you see the returns, you see the benefits of going through it, even though it was a failure last year, and it made him play better. Now this year, the guys who were front and center weren't under the gun last year. They hadn't had that moment yet. And you would love for every team to kind of be growing up at the same time on the same page, which is why you hear so much about when people are building out professional basketball teams. They do it and get a young core together and just have them stay together for years. Like that's a really big thing. Like they do all this losing together and they get better individually and you find the right coach to make sure everybody's in the right spot. And then, you know, because you've gone through these ups and downs, you figure I know how to get through this now because you grow up together and everybody's going through these same experiences. But yeah, with college, man, especially that, you know what? Now that's a conversation that we need to have one day. The transfer portal may be a negative in that regard because how am I going to have guys grow up together? The guys who had grown up together here at Auburn, from what I understand, Dylan Cardwell played a really good game. I don't know what type of game Jay Will played. I didn't hear too many people talking about him. But, and of course, Broom having been here last year. Simo apparently played a decent game. I don't know how many minutes he got. It counts. It counts for something to be with the same guys year after year after year. So, yeah, it's hard to build that experience as a team when you haven't been together that long as a team. P-Pass saying Broom made 2 free throws late. Hey. I believe it. I believe it. Chris K saying the immaturity of Chad Baker-Mazara will cost him more than just a first-round loss. It's going to start costing him money. I think he has to come back. I think he has to come back. It's not that he couldn't have gone. If we made a deep enough tournament run, I think he could have gone because he is that important to this team. But he probably has to come back now and kind of rehab his image because he's gonna the lasting image of him for scouts is gonna be, hey man, you cost your team. You weren't there for a whole game because you had to react to this dude. What's up with that? I think he needs to come back and show that he knows how to handle himself on the court because people have seen like the Draymond Green act, like that guy. Oh, like that. It took a full step back. It was cool having the crazy dude when you were winning championships, but if you're not gonna win championships, you're just a problem. So yeah, you can't. He needs to rehab that image a little bit by coming back and showing that he can mature, he can grow up. But I really like Chad Baker Mazara's energy, man. It's like you don't have to stop doing it. You just gotta like bottle it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like control it a little better. That's really what he has to do. Just control it because that makes him a better basketball player as well. Who else we got? Ernest said, like the football team's doing now, but with the transfer portal, that's hard to do now. Yeah, the football team is trying. All right. The football team is trying. Hugh Freeze said, man, we just want to get guys in here and build organically. We don't want to do the transfer portal thing all the time. I get it. You know, a lot of our team was thrown together last year, the football team. And, you know, that it kind of looked like it at times. I still think we could have played better, but it looked like it at times. So you get a team that's stuck together long enough, I think you have a better chance of winning in any sport. People who like each other play better together. I think that's pretty much a fact. Let me see who else we got over here. Lee Jit says, I think that coach instructed his player to mess with him, being that he had proven he loses his temper on the low. I mean, could have been. If so, it was great gamesmanship. And if they're gonna count on you losing your cool, then you just gotta not prove him right. And apparently he proved him right. So that was +1 to the Yale coach. If that was good, if that was true. Yeah. That's gamesmanship. True sense. Daniel Denny asked, is Broom coming back? Broom was on the precipice of leaving last year. And I think he had a really good season. He made was he All-American? Third team All-American, I believe it was. So yeah, I would like to think he's going. He was not the reason we lost. I think he showed well. He was, from what I could tell, the most consistent player in this game. I think he's proven his point that he can improve his outside shot, improve his free throw shooting, improve his even his ability to pass out of a double team on offense. Like every part of his game that needed to improve for him to be a better prospect, he actually improved it, and he showed it all year. So I wouldn't count on Broom coming back. I think Cartwell's out of eligibility. I know Jalen's out of eligibility. Assuming we get everybody back but those three, those are our biggest players. Like, what the hell are we going to do? Our front court is going to be not deep at all. And I don't even know. Like, we lost out on, what's his name, Badunga. Like, we need a few bigs, and we need them quickly. So I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm going to take two more, and then we're going to get out of here, guys, because I don't know what else to say until I've watched some detail on that game again. Saw some highlights on the timeline. Hadn't seen too much, but yeah, this is not what I expected it to be. I thought I had a lot of Auburn basketball left to watch after today, but Ernest says, yeah, great comments at his draft combine, but he may be going. If Broom is eligible for another year, drop the bag. Dylan has another year? Huh. Okay. More Eagle coverage saying here about the G League Ignite. Wait, they shutting down the G League? Stop playing. Huh. We won't have to compete with the G League no more? All right, we might be cooking then. Auburn might be cooking. Or we might be back. I don't know. I do not know. COVID year. I thought Jay Will, that's the Steve Bradley saying COVID year. I thought this was his COVID year. Am I making that up? Y'all tell me. Because I thought the 2021 season was that his freshman year, junior year, 22, 23. Oh, okay. So maybe, yeah. Yeah. So maybe not. Yeah, we don't know what next year's team is going to look like. We got a lot to project. Bruce and them have a lot to try to dig into. Players have been hitting the portal like crazy. I've been seeing those tweets, those notifications. Man, I don't know what this team's going to look like. I think we got a lot of guards. We got some wings. We need a 4 and a 5. We need 2 4s and 2 5s, really, is what we need. So there's a lot to figure out right there. This was a prime opportunity with the experience in the front court that we had this season. This was a hell of a way to waste the opportunity that this could have been and should have been. So, I mean, I hate it again. I hate it for the seniors. But, man, the game is a game, man. This is March. The other teams got players, too. The talent's everywhere now. So, all right. Gonna get out of here, man. It's been good talking with y'all, seeing with y'all. I know Ike and Mike will be back on Sunday to talk through it. And they'll react. Mike was there live. Ike was indisposed, and I know he's gonna want to break and talk about what he saw as well. But it's gonna be rough. I guess it's officially football season again. Recruiting football season. You know what I mean. Camp, A-Day, that whole 9. We're going to get back into it, man. We got to change directions. Really thought we had 2 or 3 more weeks in this, but that's the game. Still love our Auburn Tigers. And y'all take care. We'll catch y'all on Sunday. War Eagle. Peace.